Hello everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to our road to Grandmaster. We are on Shire, and pretty cool map. We haven't had a lot of games on this, actually, over the course of this road to Grandmaster, so it should be pretty interesting. Bust out a few different picks, and we'll see how this one goes. So, right at the start, we've got one of our players hovering Alarak, which seems pretty good. Now, Alarak is good with Malfurion, but I kind of figured we'd just remove that. Now, our other teammate wants to play Samuro, and I'm not too happy about this. I think I might even tell this, if I remember, I think I was actually just went in a chat and was like, don't pick Samuro. We could always ban Samuro away, but Samuro does not go well with Alarak. They're both like the melee heroes, and Alarak is just simply better than Samuro is. Samuro is really good at, he's very, very good at doing merc camps and stuff like that. But you tend to be taking the merc camps as a team on this map anyway, so it's really irrelevant. And he doesn't have the self-sustain to maintain pressure on this and stuff like that. So anyway, decide to actually ban out the ETC, leave the Malfurion open to potentially combo with the Alarak. Basically, you can pull people back into the roots of Malfurion, and they just get exploded. It's a really scary combo. Unfortunately, Malfurion does get banned away. So, Muradin is a very, very real first pick right here. Oh, he's actually going to go for Tyrael, though. And yeah, Muradin would probably be the ideal first pick. Muradin is just probably the best warrior in the game. Himself and ETC are the two best. There's no doubt about that. With ETC being gone, that opens up the Muradin very much so. We go for Tyrael instead, though, which is... Honestly, I think that they follow up with Stitches. I honestly think that they're both bad picks. I don't think there's any other way of saying it. I think they're both just bad picks. Like, Tyrael is good, don't get me wrong. He's a great hero. But he doesn't really combo well with Alarak, right? Alarak is a much more independent, much more combo-focused hero. It's not like something like Greymane, who's going to dive in and do a whole bunch of damage. It just doesn't work that well with what we've got. I mean, it certainly open up the options of like a Kerrigan. That would be pretty cool as well. Now, same thing here. We've got a Zeratul. Zeratul does not combo well with Tyrael. There's always the possibility that Zeratul will throw... In fact, Zeratul can be used to counter Tyrael in circumstances, because Tyrael throws down the Sanctification. Zeratul throws down a Void Prison. Sanctification expires while people are in the Void Prison. So that heroic and the expectation that the team had of using that heroic gets completely wasted. And again, Zeratul is another one of those heroes that's kind of poking in and out again. He doesn't actually sit in front, like at this level of play at least. I know the sort of sustained basic attack type of Zeratul is more popular in lower levels, but it doesn't work at high levels. So he's a very much poking in and out with abilities type hero. Again, he's not a hero that makes use of Sanctification at all. We did go for the Thrall though, and Thrall does work pretty well with Sanctification. It's not awful. Thrall can be pretty good because Thrall can be focused down. He's got so little mobility. He can be focused down and exploded before he can get that sort of sustained stuff out. I don't think it's as good a combo as, say, a Greymane by any means, but it's okay. I went with Falstad as well. Falstad is just amazing on this map. The global mobility is so strong. It's such a good option. I think I'm going to ban away Brightwing here, by the way. And I do. So that's the top 3 supports gone. That's the top 3 supports gone. But I wanted to remove Brightwing, just get rid of that global presence. The enemy team would almost definitely pick it up at this stage of the game. Then they would have, you know, Brightwing, a tier 1 healer, global healer would have been very, very bad to go up against that. They've got actually a pretty good composition right here, I have to say. Tychus pick, though, is excellent to counter what they have. And then I'm not liking the Rhaegar. I think Kharazim would probably be my number 1 here, for sure. Uther would not be that great. I think Kharazim is my number 1 pick. And this situation, with his recent buffs, I think he's quite strong. I think he's quite nice. I think that would work very well. It looks like we are going to go with the Rhaegar, though. Rhaegar is okay. He's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think Rhaegar is probably one of the weaker healers. I think Kharazim has definitely outstripped him. We'll see what the enemy team take. They might actually take the Kharazim. I don't remember what they go for here. But yeah, what they've got, so they have the Stitches. Now, Stitches is weak in team fights, but he has a great pick potential with the hook. We don't have a ton of imminently hookable targets, and then there's also the fact that Tyrael could be going in with Sanctification and kind of neutralize that anyway. They actually go for the Lily. Alright. Lily's actually pretty good for them. It's not awful. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's kind of rare for so many of these good supports to be banned away, and not have any of them picked up. So both teams kind of had to go for a second tier support. I think the Lily pick is actually better than Rhaegar. I really don't like Rhaegar at the moment. I really don't like it. But okay, so what they've got the hook potential with Stitches. If they hook Rhaegar, we're in big trouble. If they hook Tychus, we're in pretty big trouble. Even Thrall to a certain extent. Now, in our team fight, we'll be fairly okay, because the hooks don't matter too much, and we'll have Sanctification, probably, to defend us. Stitch's weakness is that he's not very good at team fighting, because the hook doesn't matter as much there. And he's big, he's slow, he's actually quite vulnerable to being killed. Zarya, though, does protect him from a good bit of that. And it also makes the hook even more powerful, and even makes it work in the team fight, because they can throw out the hook, catch someone, then an expulsion zone comes out and zones out the rest of the team. So that's a pretty scary thing. Then they've got the shields from Zarya protecting Stitches when Stitches is out of position and easily focused. She removes so much of that weakness, so I like that. And then they've got Alarak for like just, you know, just best melee assassin. Probably, if he's played well, best melee assassin right now, but it depends on his skill. And then they've got Li Ming, just a really solid range damage dealer. Excuse me, choking a little bit. So they have a pretty nice team. I actually quite like what they got going. I'm saying the Lily isn't terrible because her blinds will actually be very good against Thrall. If she can ever get Tychus, that's going to be huge for them. Now, it'd be difficult to get the Tychus. More likely it's going to hit Tyrael and it's going to hit Thrall, and that's it. But it should be pretty effective nonetheless. So he took a big chunk of damage from him, which is not ideal. We're actually going to barrel roll in here. Just kind of continue being aggressive and nice. We actually get first blood and catch the edge of that orb, which is pretty noob. Pretty noob, but I wanted a Hearthstone anyway. Gonna Hearthstone and then fly down. Probably bottom lane. Grab that XP. Pinging lane, my team know I'm going to be going down there. Tychus is actually going to roam down himself, which is fine. Well, I get... Honestly, actually, that roam from Tychus didn't really achieve anything. He roamed around, he kind of stood there. He might have got 1 minion's worth of XP, but he didn't actually achieve too much, and then gets hooked in. Oh, is he going to die? No, not quite going to die. But we're getting some nice stacks off the Stitches, though. We're already up to 8 stacks 1 minute into the game, which is pretty good for us overall. Li Ming has arrived. We're just going to barrel roll out, sidestep that stuff. No big deal. And we give Zarya a bunch of energy, but at least we get a couple of stacks for ourselves as well. Tyrael is kind of lurking here. And we're just being pretty safe, trying to do this, trying to zone them out. One thing we've got going for us is we've got pretty good solo lanes overall. Like Falstad is good, Thrall is good. Now they've got Alarak, who's very good. I think the Alarak-Thrall matchup is really interesting. I think it is a skill matchup. I think it depends on how good the players are. I think either way can win. I think the Thrall one is probably easier to play, but either way can win. We get some good damage down on Stitches. You can see once again, he's big, he's slow. And he's fat, so he's a nice target to try to take out. Tychus roaming down again, but so are some of the other players. Trying to burst the Lily a little bit. Now we've got a tough sort of situation here. I was trying to see how much mana is for barrel roll. Oh shit, it's 75 mana. Okay, run, 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 run. So definitely showing some inexperience on Falstad there, having to check the mana cost of that to try to judge how to play. I'd assumed it was a much lower mana cost. I didn't realize it would be 75. It's a really expensive spell. So almost die because of that. Honestly, I deserve to die because of that. You know, stopping and just taking a bunch of hits because you have to check your mana cost is pretty bad. But oh well. Our teammates have got the Li Ming hunted down, and well done, they pick her off. We were flying in case she went the other way. Wasn't the best fly, but hey, we're here to pick up the wave. You can see actually getting a bit of lag in the game. You can see it kind of stuttering a bit. That's not the recording, that's actually the game, which is unfortunate. It just happens sometimes. I think it's particularly bad on like Towers of Doom. When we get close to the Zarya, doing some damage to her. Not the best placed Q, but we still get some nice damage down. Get her health very low. Lily will be able to heal her up for sure. That's one of the things that Lily does very well. Is very nice, very efficient, sustained healing. But she lacks a lot of healing in an actual team fight where it's just slower. Once again, timing the Zarya shields to hit her as the shields expire. Worked out pretty well. Catch the Lily once again as the Zarya shields expire. Get a little bit of damage on her. Don't give Zarya any energy. At least I think it worked out that well. I'm going to fly up here into the middle. Now Li Ming will be able to stop this. In fact, they took down back the bottom shrine, so it didn't really matter. But we were ready in case Li Ming was doing anything. We could have potentially turned around and to a gank on her if she had to kind of overextend to get some pressure there. You can see Thrall. There we go, just taking a quick peek. Boom. You might have caught the health bars there. It was very quick. But yeah, Thrall is doing a good job. He's actually winning that matchup, and that's very good news for us. Tyrael taking quite a chunk of damage. This Zarya's got a lot of energy right now. We're going to grab the Boomerang talent here at level 7. I picked up, excuse me, let me just check the name for you guys. Picked up Updraft at level 4, which increases the range of our barrel roll, the shield amount, and the shield duration by 40%. So I picked this up specifically to count. Ooh, that's bad. Ouch. I picked this up specifically to counter stitches. Basic. Ooh, I think I got caught by a Leeming Orb there as well, looking to top lane, looking to fly in. So taking a couple of big hits from the Leeming, not good. Puts us in an awkward position. But I can certainly Hearthstone and fly. It's not a huge deal, but definitely not the ideal thing. Not the ideal way you want to have that teamfight go. But yeah, Updraft, that's specifically to counter stitches. If we get hooked by stitches, we're going to be able to dash out a really big distance. We're not going to need to worry too much. So Tyrael is there in middle. I figured Tyrael would be able to stop this. He has been kind of zoned out though. I'm not sure what exactly he's doing. We do pick up a kill on the Alarak, which is good. Barrel roll onto the point right here, trying to stop that. Tyrael did just survive the Dragonite, but he was too slow. I think I got flamed at this stage by someone. Yeah, so, oh, it was actually the Tyrael was flaming me himself. Again, like, I left mid to go gang top, and it worked out very well. Tyrael was in mid himself. I'm sure he could have stopped it. I honestly just think he didn't play that very well. Again, difficult to judge purely on the mini-map, but I don't see why he couldn't have stayed mid in there. I mean, he was right there at the Dragonite as it stopped, so he's clearly would have been close enough to think to interrupt it. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's hard to say. I'd have to watch the replay back again. But I remember in the game being like, well, dude, I don't know. Like, we got a kill. We were going to take the top one back. I think it would have been okay. Oh, well. I think we just missed the Zarya. Might have caught her with a boomerang bit of that, but no such luck. You can see it's very difficult, actually, to get through all the Zarya shields. Now, she is on low life, so we're able to kind of hit the shields a little bit here, just to kind of zone her off. But the damage output of Zarya is kind of scary. Nice hook, actually, from the stitches. Rhaegar go with the heal, keeping that Tychus alive through the end of that. Leeming getting a nice split push down bottom, and we're stacking very well. We actually have 37 stacks on our queue before we hit level 10, which is pretty damn good. Zarya's got, once again, a lot of energy. We get a nice chunk on Leeming. You can see, with the 39 stacked now that we have, if we hit a full Q combo on Leeming, that's over half of her health. So the game isn't going super well for us as a team, but I'm really happy with how the Falstad stacking is going. We're actually going to be a pretty big damage threat into the late game. That's Falstad's real weakness, is that he doesn't have a lot of damage, doesn't have a lot of kill pressure, and this actually worked out really badly for us. Kind of an aggressive attempt from me. Nice play by the Zarya, a nice play by the Leeming, and they kind of capitalized on pretty well. So an aggressive, ambitious play, and got punished for it very, very much, unfortunately. Good news is that Thrall picked up a kill though on the top lane, though we do lose the bottom fort because of that. There's all this oof, this is gonna hurt, but look, there's the value of Updraft, gets us out of there. Trying to come back in to try help Tyrael about, just escape that a little bit, so sidestepping that Leeming Orb as much as we can, and then continuing the wave clear. This is the strength of Falstad, is that he's got really good wave clear. He's actually very good in a solo lane, because even if he loses the solo lane, he can get out again. Now this is pretty nice for us. Big Sanctification coming out, actually protecting us from the Zarya heroic. We got the laser drill from Tychus as well coming in. There we go, going very aggressive. Really nice work by the team right there, catching the enemy team out as they overextended. Our heroics coming into play this time. And the enemy team loses 2. We get the siege camp, and now we're going to get a bit of an aggressive push on. So Rhaegar is looking to do this. I want to push in the siege camp though, at this stage. Our teammates, we have 2 people in middle. So we'll see what they can do. Alarak goes down in top lane once again. Like I said, it's a skill matchup. Our Thrall is very much winning it, so pretty impressed with him. I'm not sure if they've actually made anything happen in the mid lane. Maybe they're getting a bit of structural damage, I'm not sure. But it would have been nice, honestly, for them to rotate around and try to make something happen. There was a lot to do in the bottom lane with the siege camp pushing in. I think we really could have pushed that in. That's something very important, is you can utilize your pushes to make the most out of them. Thrall's getting great value in top. I think we could have come down bottom and made a lot happen down there. Nice expulsion zone from the Zarya, actually. Getting some decent damage. Trying to interrupt them right there to maybe get the cap, but it doesn't quite work out, unfortunately. We did interrupt Disintegrate, which was coming out, which is nice. It doesn't achieve too much in the end. Once again, the Zarya shields being problematic for actually getting damage down onto this enemy team. Nice hook by the Stitches, and this is looking pretty bad. The Gust is down. There's very little we can do to save them. This is going to be a dead Rhaegar. Nice attempt by the Tyrael, and this is what I was talking about earlier on, is that Stitches into Tyrael might not necessarily work. It was a good effort. Didn't quite work out. I'm going to attempt to take this point back, at least a little bit. Just trying to get the return hook in on the Lily. Didn't quite work out. I'm going very low. Not going to win this fight. Lily's actually extremely strong in a 1v1, as you might have noticed. And also the enemy team was rotating around. So actually just using the flight to retreat, which is very unusual. But I think it worked out in the end. In fact, as you see, it worked out really well. Why? Because the enemy team sent 3 heroes on top of the Lily down to bottom lane to try to stop me. I just flew out. Then suddenly, with that many heroes down bottom lane, Thrall and Tychus were able to take top back and make that work. So even though we lost Rhaegar and lost the fight, it worked out really nicely for us in the end. Having to actually gust the Rhaegar away to save him, that actually did save his life. And a very good expulsion zone from the Zarya coming out and pushing him away. You can see once again, those shields, very effective at kind of countering that. Thrall coming in, I'm not sure why, honestly. This is a pretty bad situation. Very difficult to focus anyone with the Zarya shields and the Alarak thing. So Thrall goes down. I don't know what he was thinking there. He's been playing so well and then made a really big mistake in that team fight. I think Tychus got gorged by Stitches during that. Well, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but nothing good anyway, and Tychus got taken out as well. So that worked out really badly for us overall, stepping behind this, and we do escape. But this is a pretty bad situation. We've got no mana, got no nothing. At this stage, I know that the enemy team is probably rotating top to take that. I figure that they're not going to be bottom. So what I'm going to do is fly down here to the bottom lane, just using that flight purely to remove the bottom thing. I don't even care about taking it, right? Don't care about that. It's only going to save the enemy team, cost them a couple more seconds. The primary goal right there is just to take it away from them so they cannot channel the Dragonite. You could see while I went down there, they still had 4 people in middle. Li Ming had gone up top to try take that back. What this means is that they have to send someone down to the bottom lane, and that means that while they send someone down to bottom lane to try capture that, it gives us time to respawn, to re-establish map position. You can see Thrall has in fact taken back top, and this is pretty good for us. So there you go. Nice little moves. This was a good game. I forgot how good this game was. Getting to show off some really cool like Falstad flight things for Shire in particular. Now this is a little bit tricky. We've kind of lost control of top, but they have sent someone down bottom. We know because they just took it back. Unfortunately, Tyrael is there, but I'm going in aggressively. Thrall is here as well. We've got Earthquake too. Unfortunately, the Earthquake wasn't placed super well. Going for the Li Ming. She does sidestep really nicely though. Our teammates are kind of slow to the left-hand side, not coming in actually that effectively. Zoned out by him, but good work. Li Ming does eventually go down. We're focusing in. Unfortunately, Tychus is focusing on her. It's not working out too great. The rest of the team has arrived. Tyrael is still down bottom lane. The full enemy team is here now, and this is turning around on us. If Tyrael had come up, I think it would have been better. But unfortunate, that's actually a really difficult situation. Really difficult situation where the fight goes on for so long, and it was a really crazy fight up top. Number one, the Earthquake and the Gust not really synergizing very well. Then Thrall getting hooked away by Stitches, and then I don't know if he was hooked behind a... No, he could... hooked and gorged behind a gate. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but either way, I'm pinging up top here. I don't think we can take bottom, but maybe myself and Thrall can take back top. I don't think they're going to send enough people there. I think they're still going to cap this though, but maybe we get to kill the Lily. Not a very good Q, unfortunately. Messed that up, and Li Ming is here as well, which is not good. Didn't really expect that. Gonna gust them away just to slow them down. Stitch is being slowed down by that, so he can't actually do too much. I think Thrall is still gonna go down, doing some pretty good damage. Tychus has arrived, but a nice hook back on the Thrall means that Thrall's gonna go down. Well played by the enemy team. But the Earthquake definitely neutralizing the value of Gorge in that situation. But yeah, I don't know in that team fight before why Thrall didn't come back in. I think he might have been gorged behind a wall and had to fight his way out. But anyway, he was fighting with the Stitches. He couldn't actually make it in. It was definitely very tricky. And then I think just a few problems in how we fought that team fight. We're still neck and neck. We're both to level 16. The enemy team has a bit of an advantage, and they have a Dragonite now as well, which is pretty gnarly. But hopefully we can make a bit of an in into this anyway. Once again, the Zarya shield's being a huge pain in the ass, but a decent sanctification. This protects us a little bit longer. Thrall is still dead. I'm actually taking tons of damage from Zarya and from the Dragonite's flames. I was just exploded right there. Gonna have to actually back it up. They do have vision on me. Don't want to take too much damage. So I'm going to come down here, maybe throw out a Q on the Dragon Knight. Just do an extra sort of chunk of damage, dash away, Heartstone, come back in. I'm able to do that, but the Dragon Knight goes down. They didn't take a keep, and that's the most important thing. Now, the tough thing is, they're going to hit level 20 first, more than likely. And that's going to be very difficult, but if we can hang on, level 20 is going to be a big deal for us. It's going to be very nice. Just trying to gust the Lili and the Li Ming away, just remove them from the fight. Earthquake comes out, but it's kind of disengaged already. Alarak pops the counter-strike, but doesn't actually trigger it for any damage, which is huge. But Alarak, once again, protected by the Zarya. We're trying to do what damage we can. Zarya actually gets helping hand hooked by Stitches, saves the Zarya from the Tyrael passive, and that's a huge deal. Tychus has gone deep trying to get a kill, and he gets picked off as well. Then the hook comes out, catches Thrall, and he goes down. Rhaegar in a bit of a tough spot as well, going to throw out a hook, just try slow the enemy team down, try scare them away. Rhaegar does escape. This is looking pretty bad. You can see I'm looking at the stats here going like, what exactly is going wrong here? You can see the Zarya doing unbelievable amounts of damage. Part of that is me as well, right? Is that the Falstad Qs are very easy for her to block out, and seeing as I'm the top damage dealer of the team at the moment, very easy for them to actually kind of counter that and deal with that. I have to say, the enemy team is playing a very good game of Heroes of the Storm. Very well synergized. And the Stitches pick actually working out pretty well. So we're getting nice damage down, but once again we try to focus the Alarak. They've got good focus there. I actually decide just to gust them away. We still have a couple of seconds till people respawn. They hit level 20 as well, so don't actually really want to stay and keep that fight. Just gust them away and deal with that. Ooh, Stitch's hook comes close, but no cigar. And things continue. So Tyke is saying, I don't know how we're not killing Zarya there. It's been very close, very tight. It's been very difficult. But yeah, they've got quite a lot of protection, it has to be said. The Zarya pick really is working well. I don't know, I think the Tychus pick hasn't actually worked half as well as I expected to. His damage is really low, considering that they're double immobile warriors. It should probably work better. I'm going to grab this shrine, then Heartstone away. Seeing as I'm here, I might as well. Might be able to exploit flight to make something happen. More than likely, though, just them having level 20 means they are going to get this Dragon Knight again. And honestly, probably win the game off of it. No real two ways about that. It's probably going to go badly. Using the boomerang to clear out the siege camp. They have an open path to our core. They've got level 20, so it's probably not going to work out too great. Zarya coming in, doing pretty good work. We get nice Q there, gets good value, but the Alarak getting good value in return. Luckily, the counter-strike doesn't get anything done, which is pretty good for us. Doing some good damage here, but ooh, Stitches with the Gorge and then a Bolt of the Storm. That's pretty bad. Tychus getting focused down. Nice, though. Oh, nice heroics overall, though. Now re-engaging in through the Sanctification. Tychus back on full life thanks to Rhaegar, but Tyrael's going low. Huge damage from the Alarak coming out on top of me. They have chased very deep. And oh, that's 2 heroes down. This is not good. Level 20, the enemy team had it, we didn't have it. And some decent team fighting from us overall. But damn, the Stitches Gorge into Bolt of the Storm really made things awkward. Had to burn a couple of our big defensive heroics to do that. And the enemy team re-engaging, just the value of their level 20s overcoming us. And we've got 3 levels of scaling. They're pushing in on the core. Nice hook actually catches me. I think this is probably me dead. Yeah, that's me dead for sure. Slow down. You see a bit of lag there. We got about 3 frames of magic missiles. Makes it hard to dodge. Makes it very hard to dodge when you get a frame rate drop. Still though, I think either way we would have died to that situation. Rhaegar's gonna go down. They're on the core. There's 4 of us dead. Rhaegar's gonna die right now as well. Almost certain. No. Did he make it out? Ah, okay, I take it all back. I'm an idiot. Nope, never mind. He's dead. He was scorched. That's why he was scorched. And there you go. The core goes down. Oof. Rough game. Tyrael is being a bit bitter. Bad game, says Tyrael. I don't think so. I think that was actually a really good game. I thought it was really interesting. I just think the enemy team played better than us, and they had a bit of a better team comp. I mean, and I can definitely point a finger and go, Tyrael first pick, not that good. When Muradin is up, doesn't make any sense. You know, it's not bad, but when you're talking about like Masters level of play, you should really be talking about the ideal. There you go. Anyway, you can see we actually dealt 70,000 hero damage, which is 25% more than our average. So we did a lot of damage in this particular game. Anyway, people were looking for us for that. I'm saying the cooperation from our teammates was okay, wasn't fantastic. There you go. You can see the stats are kind of worrying. Like Tychus in particular, I thought his damage was very low, considering that they had sort of an immobile double warrior. I was really expecting he would do more damage in this game. You really think he should. Certainly, Falstad topping your damage meters is pretty worrying, I would say. We had a very good game damage-wise on Falstad, and a lot of that wasn't I point that out as well. A lot of it wasn't necessarily good damage, because yes, we did a lot of damage, but a lot of that was to Zarya shields, and it's just very hard to deal with that. Zarya's pretty good against Falstad, I have to say. And the Zarya I thought she played an excellent game. But yeah, you would expect, honestly, Falstad, that's one of the things with Falstad. Compared to other assassins, he does pretty bad damage. He does pretty bad damage. He's got, his Q does a lot of damage, his W does a fair amount, and his basic attacks are okay. Then he's got mobility on his E. And so, like, so much of what Falstad does is bring utility to the team fight. He just doesn't do as much damage as a Gul'dan. He doesn't do as much damage as a Vala, as a Lunara, as a Tychus. He doesn't do as much damage as those other guys who just bring damage for much more of their kit. What Falstad does is bring tremendous utility, and I think that was actually a good game for showing some pretty cool moves with Fly, using that global mobility to our advantage. Yeah, that's what he brings. The Mighty Gus as well being pretty useful. We had some decent ones in this game, and then some decent attempts that didn't quite work out as planned, I would say. The Mighty Gus were so-so in this game. But it was a difficult game for sure. But hopefully that was a pretty good one. You could learn a lot from that, from not only from our team but from the enemy team as well, because they play their composition very well. I think the Zarya pick did tremendous things in making the Stitches pick much more useful. And then the Lily pick actually worked out very well for them in the end as well. I don't think our team did that well. I think we got a bit frustrated towards the end. I think you could see, particularly in that last team fight, you could see people chasing kills and diving for kills, when really against a level 20 team, you shouldn't be looking to do that. You should just be looking to, you know, maybe we get a kill, but if we don't, you know, back up and survive. Instead, we had people diving really deep to try to finish off this Zarya. And in the end, they just died, and the enemy team just rolled over 7 to level 20, and all of them alive. I think against level 20 team, it's important to just try to survive until you get level 20 yourself. Then with Epic Mount on Falstad, we probably would have won the game. I don't know, it would have been tough, but I think we would have had a good chance to win by exploiting that global and just the control it brings you on a map like Shire. It would have been really interesting, but unfortunately it was not to be. I think we got a bit frustrated, a bit disheartened by losing some of these team fights over and over again. But there you go. That's life. Unfortunately, that brings us to a demotion game. I'm not going to bring you that demotion game because it was awful. In the demotion game, I almost topped damage on Muradin. Unbelievably, I did more damage on Muradin than our Li Ming, and I think our Vala beat me by about 1,000 damage. But it was pretty bad. It was one of those games where your damage dealers are really, really bad, and I was kind of going, this is full tank Muradin. It's not like I went damage Muradin. It was full tank Muradin, and I did as much damage as them. I kind of went, okay, you know what? There's just some games you just lose. So it was a really bad game. It was just boring. It was crap. So there was not really no point in showing you that. It was just, I can sum it up in one sentence, which is damage dealers aren't that good at their heroes. Unfortunate. But I will bring you some more cool games. Basically lost a bunch in a row, then won a bunch in a row. I'm going to bring you them to you probably out of order, so you're not going to know whether we're going to win or lose. I think that's a good way of keeping it spoiler free. But anyway, there's some very good games in there. Played a couple of games against Quacknix from Fnatic, which was really cool and quite intimidating. So I might bring you at least one of those. Find a good one. And yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Bye-bye.